Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped back by Tracie's place. Today I am making chicken and bean soup, and it also has smoked sausage in it. It is a delicious soup that I've made before. I recently showed it on my channel, and one subscriber said, they reminded me that I was going to make the soup. I said I was going to make the soup. So I said, let me go ahead and make this soup quick because it is cold outside and people are looking for alternatives to standard meals. A soup is quick and easy to make. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I have 2 chicken thighs here that I just baked in the oven. You can bake it any way you want to, but I just put it on this sheet, on this aluminum foil, so I don't have to do dishes later. And I did cover it with another piece of aluminum foil, just so that it kind of steamed a little bit too, baked and steamed. I seasoned it with Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, a little bit of Sazon, and I put a little bit of Italian seasoning on there, I believe, too. But you can season it however you want to. I just have staples that I use. So what I'm going to do is get it cut up, and then also, you guys, you can make it with any type of bean that you want. The last time I made it with 2 cans of Crowder peas and 1 can of pinto beans. This time I'm making it with 2 cans of Glory black-eyed peas and a can of Crowder peas. I got these in Alabama. I don't think they sell them up north here because when I went to the store, I went to Kroger's anyway, and I didn't see them. So you can use the beans of your choice. And of course, I do make beans from scratch in my Power pressure cooker. But this is an easy way to make beans. When you just are short on time and you want something quick but still delicious, you can make them right out of the can, or you are, of course, welcome to make them in your Instant Pot or pressure cooker. So we have 2 cans of black-eyed peas, 1 can of Crowder peas, like I said. I am also going to use probably 1/4 of a red bell pepper, and I'm going to use some turkey smoked sausage along with this chicken. And I'm going to use onion, and I'll show you the seasonings that I'm using in a second. And then also at the end, I'm going to put in some cilantro. You do not have to do that. If you have green onions or scallions on hand, you are very welcome to use that. That adds more flavor. I didn't have any green onion on hand. Also, I am using turkey tail to help season my water and then ultimately to season the beans. So I'm going to put that aside, and I am cooking this, you all, in a 3-quart saucepan. 3-quart saucepan. You all know I love to use a variation of seasonings, and you don't have to use these, but this is what I'm using. Are these chicken bouillons, and these are not it is bouillon flavoring, but this is the powder. It's not the actual bouillon cubes. So I'm using that. I am also using Sazon. I'm using one of my new favorites, this McCormick's all-purpose seasoning. Is Himalayan pink sea salt with black pepper and garlic. This is delicious. You can use this on anything. So if you have not tried it yet, try it. Find it in your store. It is amazing. Garlic powder, parsley flakes, Cajun seasoning, and Italian seasonings. And like I said, you do not have to use all of this. If you just have salt, pepper, and seasoning salt, you will be in business. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I put like a teaspoon of butter in there. You don't have to. I did not say that in the beginning, and you definitely do not have to. I just like a little richness to everything that I make. Just butter and different things like that make things, just a little richer and a little bit more flavorful. So I put that in to saute my onions, and also I'm adding, and this is about 1/4 of a small onion, and this is about 1/4 of a large red bell pepper. You can add green bell pepper though, if you so choose. I just did not have any in my refrigerator today, so I'm using the red bell pepper. Same texture and not too far off of a taste. So I'm just adding that. So I'm going to saute this, caramelize my onions, and get the peppers softened, and we'll be good to go here in a second. Time to go ahead and season them. I'm going to put a little Cajun seasoning in here, And I would say about 1/4 of a teaspoon for right now, because I'm doing Italian seasonings right now too. About 1/4 of a teaspoon of that. I'm just trying to get my onions and the red pepper seasoned. Putting a little bit of Sazon, about the same amount. And I'm going to put some garlic powder. You could add garlic if you want to, but I'm not going to add garlic for this. And I'm going to go ahead and add my Himalayan pink sea salt. That was a little bit over 1/4. Now, do not feel just stuck and hemmed into what I am doing. You can make variations to this. You know, this is a guide, but this is how I make mine. You know, deviate from the recipe if you like certain things or don't like certain things. I'm going to let those go for just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to add in some water and the turkey tail. Okay, now it's time for 1.5 cups of water. And add the turkey tail in. So I'm going to turn my heat up to high and let that come to a boil. I think I'm going to add another 1/2 cup of water. I'm going to add another 1/2 cup of water. And now that you've added the turkey tail, what you want to do is add about a teaspoon of this chicken broth seasoning. Okay, and then I'm going to add in a little bit more of Sazon because we're salting or flavoring the water, and a little bit of this pink Himalayan sea salt. And I'm sorry, it doesn't say sea salt, it says Himalayan pink salt with black pepper and garlic. So I'm going to put some of that around in the water, about 1/2 teaspoon. And that's not too much for these beans, you guys. All right, so as you can see, it is coming up to a boil. And we want to let that boil a good 5 to 7 minutes. After it comes to a boil, let it keep boiling for about 5 to 7 minutes. You guys, I almost forgot the onion powder. All right, I am going to add in a teaspoon of onion powder. If you do not have this, it is okay. And also, as you go along, taste your water, taste your broths and different things like that. Taste your food as you go along to see how the seasoning is for you, because everybody likes their seasoning different. If you don't have it, it's okay. It's okay. But onion powder just adds a oomph to soups. Okay, so it has been about 3 minutes, so I'm going to turn my eye down to a little bit less than medium. So it's going to slow down here in a second. I have an electric stove, so it's going to take a few minutes for it to settle down. But I cut it down to a little bit less than, I said between low and medium. I want it to still boil, but not as rapidly as it was. It has been 7 minutes. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut this. Sometimes it's hard to cut depending on how frozen or not it is. And it's been here about 7 minutes, but right out of the freezer, I'm going to see if I can cut this. When you cut it open, you know, there's flavor on the inside and all over, of course. So I just like to cut mine into several pieces. And it just flavors the water so good. It makes a little broth of its own. And so now I'm going to go ahead and put in the beans. Okay, so here are the Glory seasoned black-eyed peas, and we're just going to empty the can on over in there. And then here's the second can of peas. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it looks so good. It is, oh, the color and everything. You can smell it. It just smells delicious. And if you want to make a bigger pot of this, you can certainly double the recipe. And like I said, you guys, if you want to make it more homemade or, you know, to your liking, you can do it from scratch in your pressure cooker or just on the stove in a big pot. It'll take longer. But if you want to do it, that's okay. If you want to get the beans in the bag from the grocery store and make it from the hard beans, you can do that. But in the can, they're already kind of tender. They do have some seasoning on them already, and they're going to be delicious. And I'm going to put the Bush's beans in now, the Crowder peas. And no, you do not drain your beans. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to a boil. And let me get me a wooden spoon here now. Oh my goodness. I'm going to bring it up to a boil and we'll continue from there. Also, guys, while this is coming up to a boil, go ahead and cut up your chicken and your turkey smoked sausage. And while you're cutting up that chicken, you guys, keep that chicken broth that you baked the chicken in. Keep that broth, because that broth is going in this soup. Also, guys, if you all want to make some bread to go with this, I'm making dinner rolls, just those brown and serve rolls that you can get from Kroger's. That's right by the white and wheat bread. The hamburger buns and the hot dog buns. Over there they have some brown and served dinner rolls that you just put in the oven and they get ready. I put butter in mine. I cut them open in the middle and I put butter in them. And when I'm serving them with something like this, a soup or something like that, or a stew, or a casserole or something, I put garlic powder in mine. And it tastes just like a garlic roll. And it's so good to sop up the liquor when you're eating it and you just want to sop up, this good old liquor, because this is going to get thicker. I'm going to show you how to make it thicker. And it just tastes so good with this soup. Also, remember that you can put any beans in here that you want to. If you want to do all black-eyed peas, you can do that. Whatever you choose. And now that the beans are up to a boil, I'm going to turn them down between medium and low. Let them slow down. But now I'm going to go ahead and add this chicken broth. I'm going to add it right in here. Sorry I didn't put it in nothing fancier for the video, but I don't feel like dirtying up no more dishes. So I'm going to scoot this to the edge. I'm just making somewhat of a lip on here, a pointed edge. I'm just going to pour this right into, look at that, liquid gold. Liquid gold. Put it right on in there. I wish I had more, but that's what I made. When I make chicken legs with the bone in and everything, I make a big pan of it. It has much more broth, and oh my goodness. So it has turned down to a little bit over a simmer. So we are going to let these go for about 10 minutes. All right, now this is the secret, you guys. Pay attention. So, not a lot of people do. I saw just a couple of other people do this. I know one for sure, but it was a man, and he was from the South, if I'm not mistaken. To make the beans, not just your broth, but to make the beans flavorful, for the most part, you all, take the beans, you're going to push them up against the pot and press them. See how it breaks open? I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to do another. But you break them open. Ooh, I hope I can. Let me pull some up. Break them open a little bit. You don't, not every single one, but just to break them open a little bit. The seasoning gets on the inside, and all that starchiness from the bean draws out into the liquid and thickens up the liquid. And because the bean is broken, it gets flavor on the inside. Yes. So like I said, you're not going to get every single bean, and you don't want to smush them and make it mushy. You just want to break them open a little bit. Just smush them a little bit. And you all, when I tried this, my beans tasted so different, because I've been making beans a while, but they taste so much better and so much more flavorful. It takes me about 5 minutes, I guess, to do this. And it is just delicious. It's even better. I mean, beans are good, period. But this just took them to another level. I was like, oh my goodness. Never would have thunk it. I'll be back. At this point, you guys, you want to taste your water. And I'm just doing it with my finger. You can do it with a bigger spoon if you want to, but I can taste it well enough. So I want a little bit more of this chicken seasoning and a little bit more of the Cajun seasoning. A little bit of the Sazon. A little bit more of the onion. Okay. Stir that in there, and then and a little bit taste it again. Taste one of the beans. That is much better. Now it is time for the sugar. Yes, the sugar. A good Southern cook uses some sugar, some kind of sweetness in a lot of their dishes. If you don't want to put sugar, at least put some honey in, just to cut the taste of like a raw bean. So just go ahead and put a little bit of sugar. If you don't want to, don't do that. But a good Southern cook, y'all, they use some sugar. I am putting a teaspoon of sugar. If you want a little more, you can do that. But you can tell the difference. It's just a more savory taste when you add some sugar in there. All right, so now I am going to taste it one more time. Taste one of the beans. And yes, y'all, this is just for my family. I'm not serving anybody else. So I'm using my fingers. You know, some people don't care for that, but I am a home cook. This is just for my family, you guys. I'm not taking this food out anywhere. So, and I think I need a little bit more. You know what? I'm not going to do more sugar. I'm going to do a little bit of honey. All right, I am going to put a tablespoon of honey in there. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the chicken and the smoked sausage. And here it is right here. I took about almost a whole length of one smoked sausage. I cut it in half, and then I turned it and cut it in half again. And so that was close to a whole length of smoked sausage. And then I used 1.5 chicken thighs. And that was a boneless, skinless chicken thigh. We're going to get that in there. You can use as much or as little meat as you want to. I like a lot of meat in mine. And at this time, you want to go ahead and put your bread in the oven. If you have those brown and serve rolls, or whatever you have, go ahead and get it prepared, because these will be ready in about 10 more minutes. You just want to let them simmer, let the flavors meld into the chicken and on the smoked sausage. And yeah, you got about 10-12 minutes, and go ahead and get that bread ready. Add the Italian seasoning. You don't have to add this if you don't like Italian seasoning. It does not give off any harsh flavor. It just makes it So that was about a little bit over 1/4 of a teaspoon. I know it looks like a lot, but it is not. It is not. Parsley flakes. And just stir that in there. Got about 5 more minutes. Also know, you guys, that certain dishes get more flavorful after the days go on. Just like a roast. To me, the roast is the best the next day and the second day after that. A pound cake. Oh my goodness. Like the pound cake I just made. All my pound cakes and just even my regular cakes, they are best on the second day. When I would make pound cakes or a birthday cake or wedding cake for somebody, it is 1 to 2 days old. Yes, that is the optimal time of service. 1 to 2 days old, because it tastes good the first day, But those flavors, they set in, they settle, and do all what they're going to do. And the day after and the next day, oh my goodness, it's the best flavor day. So the soups are the same. Soups and stews are the same way. They're more flavorful the next day and that third day. So second and third day, I meant to say, I'm sorry. But yeah, and y'all check out that pound cake recipe. And if y'all make it, let me know how you like it. It is awesome, my family says. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to have given that recipe out. And like I said, if you are going to serve it on Christmas or whatever date you're going to serve it on, make it at least 24 hours before. And even if you want to do it 48 hours before, if you're going to like a bigger get together or something and a lot of people are going to be there and it's going to go like that whole pound cake is going to go, make sure you do it like 2 days early, y'all. Oh my goodness, you would not be sorry. It tastes the best 2 days out. All right, now at this time you can add in some cilantro if the people in your house likes cilantro. Oh my goodness, y'all, I love cilantro in so many things. You either love cilantro or hate it. I don't think there's too many people in between, but it adds a brightness to it. It's not anything stark or harsh. It is so good. So I'm just gonna put a little in here and I'm gonna save the rest to put on my bowl or in my bowl of black eyed peas. So it is finished and I'm going to go ahead and put some in my bowl. That looks so good. And here's the soup already in the bowl. It is delicious, y'all. And also you can serve this over rice if you'd like to, white rice or wild rice. Also, here are the garlic butter rolls that I told you about. Just sprinkle garlic powder in the rolls and put butter in them. Y'all, look, delicious.